Oh, I need to wash, wipe my face down. Good morning. If you're joining, let me know where you're watching from. I am about to do a quick get ready with me makeup. I have a lot of work I need to get done today. So I am up bright and early doing makeup. I had already taken a shower, so my face clearly wasn't that dirty, but I still like to clean it off afterwards. Every product that I'm gonna use, hi Letitia Duckett. Every product I'm gonna use, I will link down below. We're gonna do makeup, we're gonna do hair in an hour. Fingers crossed that we're going to finish in an hour. If you're joining, let me know where you're watching from, what city and state that you're in, so I can say hey to you. This is the Clearance Double Serum Eye Cream. I absolutely love. Oh, something's in my eye. Hold on, y'all. What is that? Sorry. I love Clearance. Like, they make amazing products for your skin. And as somebody that doesn't sleep really well, I need all the help I can get with my under eyes. As you can tell, they're big. Hold on, y'all. Something is in my eye. Maybe it's the eyelashes. It's giving me a hard time. There we go. Um, Again, if you're watching, hi, good morning. Let me know what city and state that you're watching from so I can say, hey, this is the double serum. This is one of the best things ever. If you don't buy anything else, the Clearance double serum, just look how it hydrated my skin. And when it dries, it doesn't dry super greasy. So I'm gonna bring that down to our chest. Then, oh, you know what? No, you know what? You know what? Let's do the Prada Augmented Skin. This is facial lotion. Amazing. Hi, Donna from Jamaica. Hi. Okay, so we can do a Q&A this morning. Even if you're watching this after the fact, you can leave a question, and I would definitely answer it in the comments. But we can do a Q&A, and I'll just answer some questions. It can be about anything, relationships, content creation, making money. I'm an open book, so feel free to ask a question. Did I do the giveaway for the books? I did. I mailed them out last week, and the people got them. This is a facial primer, so we're going to do facial primer, and then the last step, of course, is always sunscreen. But yeah, I sent them out to 2 people. They got it. I never know how to let people know that the winners have gotten their gifts. They sent me videos of it. Do I need to just do I need to put it in my story? How do I make sure that you guys know people got their gifts? I also don't want to be people are like, oh my God, she did this giveaway, it was fake. Baby, I sent those bags. And the bags came with makeup inside of it, so I did fill it up with different things inside of it. So the bags were sent. Oh, this feels good. This feels really good. Next, sunscreen. So what is our questions? What do we have? What questions do we have for me? I haven't been live on here in a minute, and I feel a little rusty. I've been really busy because of the school year. The kids have had programs every other day. I've been traveling, so I haven't been able to have a schedule for going live on any platform. So yeah, I'm glad to be back on here. If you're joining, let me know where you're watching from. We're doing a Q&A. I guess I'll start. For the people that are new, I'll talk a little bit about myself, and then when the questions come, we can answer the questions. I always start out with eyebrows first. This is the NYX Brow Gel, 10 out of 10. What I like to do is put it on my eyebrows and then let it sit for a little bit before I do it up. So I got individual lashes because I'll be traveling on Sunday. And they said don't do eye makeup when you do. Oh, God, this thing is getting on these lashes. They said don't do eye makeup when you have these lashes because I don't know. They said just don't do makeup around them when you have it, but I'm already getting lash glue on it because it's so long. Like, this is the longest I've ever done, but I have to go. I'm headed back home and I need to shoot content while I'm there. So I need the eyelashes to be ratatata. I need them to be big, okay? Beyonce. Um, so when I get there, like, it's still showing up and it's still looking nice. We're gonna color correct, which I don't think I put the color corrector in there, but this is just Bobbi Brown color corrector for my girls with hyperpigmentation. If you're dark skinned, this is it. We're gonna color correct. So we don't have any questions. I'll just start talking about myself. So if you're new here, my name is Fumi Ford. I am a content creator based out of Birmingham, Alabama, but I was born in Nigeria, moved to the US when I was like 8 years old, and went to Montgomery, Alabama, straight from Africa to Montgomery. Think about the culture shock that was. And went to school, went to college, Auburn. Go Tigers. Is it the Tigers? Are we the Tigers, y'all? I don't know anything about sports. Let me know what college you went to. I went to Auburn, Montgomery. I stayed home for college. I was like a really late bloomer. Like, I started everything pretty late in life. I was very shy. you know, I was a little book nerd, which I'm still proud of, because to this day I still read over 150 books a year. That's my goal. Sometimes I do less, sometimes I do more. Now I don't really sit and read a book. I listen to books just because I'm a mother and I don't have time. I barely have time for myself. Um, so yeah, I started content creating. Hi, Harvey. We're doing a question and answer, so if you have questions, please feel free to ask. I started content creating when I got married. I met my husband in 12 years ago. I don't know what year. Don't ask me. I'm not good with years. I met him when I was 25. Let me just tell you, I was such a late bloomer. All my friends got married at 21. So all my friends, my sister, my best friend, their kids are graduating high school. It's crazy. Their kids are graduating high school. To all the aunties out there that helped your nieces and nephew, and you're watching them graduate, know that I feel your pain. Like, you feel like that's your kid, and it's not. But it really is. Y'all, look at this. This brow gel, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. I'm just getting started, baby. My kids are 5 and 8. Like, one of my kids is graduating preschool, and my nephew is graduating high school, about to go to college. So I started a little bit late. Everybody in my friend group was married by the time I got married, and I got married at 25, which to me, 25 is like the perfect age to get married. I feel like maybe even 30, because I know if I had gotten married at 21 when everybody else got married, I would have been divorced. Like, I was not ready to get married that young. I was so self-centered. I was so spoiled. I was so stuck in my ways, grew up in a very strict holiness church, went to Deeper Life. If you're Nigerian, you know what Deeper Life is. So I grew up, went to a private school my whole life, up until 11th grade. Well, I went to a magnet school, then I went to a private school. So when we came from Africa, we went straight into a magnet program, and then we went to a private school. The rest of the time, like, I was a totally different person than what you guys see on the internet now. So I just could not even imagine getting married at 21. I thought the whole world revolved around me, and it didn't. It didn't revolve around me. Yeah. Oh, the bots have found us. They're writing crazy things. But yeah, so met my husband at 25, got married by 28, had my first kid at 30. which is, you know, a little late. No, 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 don't get in the video. Get out of the video. You guys couldn't find something to watch? No. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Go use your minds. Go read a book. Had my first kid at 30, my second kid at 33. So, you know, I was a little later than my friends. Now I think it's normal. Like, people aren't having kids that early. You know, I know people that are in their... I'm going to hide that. Yeah.
Today Friday.
Ah, today's Saturday. I know people in their 34 that aren't married. I know people 40 that have never been married. So, but I feel like when I was growing up, people were um, having kids a lot, having kids and getting married a lot younger. Um, I haven't been to Nigeria since I left when I was about 5 years old. I will be back this year though. This year will be my first year back since I left. Um, we left Nigeria and went to Ghana. My mother is half Nigerian, half Ghanaian. So we have family on both sides, which makes me 75% Nigerian, the rest Ghanaian. This is the Fenty Beauty, what do you call that, this thing? Concealer. So we're just concealing underneath the eyes, around. Yeah, but I'll be back this year. I'll be going to Lagos Fashion Week. Hi, Diva. It will be my first time at Lagos Fashion Week. Samuel, can you give me some tissue? My first time at Lagos Fashion Week and my first time in Nigeria since I left. I just feel like I'm gonna cry. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm probably just gonna cry when I land.
Mommy, tomorrow, are you going to Africa?
Tomorrow, yes. Good morning, everyone. If you're joining, let me know where you're watching from, what city and state, so that we can say hey to you. But yeah, I'm headed out of the country tomorrow. We're taking a group of... Oh, let me go back to the story. So me and my husband got married, started having kids, decided I want to do content creation, and that's how I started. I was like, oh, I had an Instagram. I was just posting food videos, the regular stuff. You'd post your food, you'd post, your shoes, you'd post. And it wasn't until I had my son, I was like, oh, I should probably like one of my good friends, Titi, was like, Fumi, you can make money from this. She was like, you're so good. Your content is so good. And back then I was creating content so I could get clients to style, because I was a stylist. So I was just putting stuff out there so I could get clients. And she said, oh, you can make money creating content for brands. You should really think about that. Hi, North Mississippi. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, how do you do that? And she like really helped me. I did my own research, because one thing, I'm gonna find out. One thing about me, oh, I'm gonna find out. You don't have to tell me too much. I will do my homework. Please believe, you will be dealt with. The homework will be done. So I'm looking for this brush. So I did my homework, figured out how to make money, and then I started trying to work with brands. And 2019, I got my LLC. COVID happened. I had a baby. And we've been rocking ever since. I started YouTube, I think 2021 or something, 2021, 2020. Maybe 2023, actually. I've only been on here 2 years. Or end of 2022. I didn't post anything for a year when I started the page. It just kind of sat here. And then I was like, oh, let me maybe put stuff on YouTube. I put something on there. I was on here for like 6 months, and then I quit again, because YouTube is a lot of work. Let me just tell you, out of all the platforms, YouTube is the most work you will ever do in your life. It is insanely hard. And really it just comes to the editing. Because on other platforms you're shooting 5 7 second videos, 5 second videos. Everybody's attention span is so small on there. For YouTube you're shooting like hour-long videos. Your vlog will be like 4 hours, and then for 4 hours you have to condense it down to an hour. So you're like literally, sometimes it'll take you days to condense one video. YouTube is work, but to me it's like the most rewarding. Somebody said the other day 100,000 on YouTube is so different and so much better than 100,000 on any other platform, and I really think they're right. Unless you do OF, and I'm sure 100,000 on there is a lot more lucrative. But at what cost? At what cost to your soul? I'm just really, it's up to you. Me, I'm okay. I'm okay. I will figure out how to eat before I do that. But that's just me. That's just me. He's upstairs. It's a lot of time. You know, you have to on TikTok or Instagram, you could find a trending sound. You could do a video with the trending sound. You could literally shoot and edit the video in 10 minutes, if that. YouTube, if you're going to come on here and do a video, you got to sit down, do your research. If you're a fashion blogger, you got to figure out, what clothes you're doing. If you are beauty, you have to sit here and do your makeup. The beauty influencers, baby, give those people a medal of honor. I don't know how y'all are doing it. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. The amount of effort it takes to do a video and do your makeup on the video, talking to, please, I beg. Pay them $1 million. They deserve it. Pay them $1 million. I did one makeup video. It didn't even do well. I said, say less. My people don't like it. I'm not gonna do it. Nobody has to tie my hands up. I won't do it. So yeah, I stopped. But I probably will do more because I like makeup and I like talking to you guys while I do my makeup. But makeup is give the people all the shmoneys that do makeup. Like, give them all the money. So I think I am going to do a little bit of eyeshadow because I know they say don't do eyeshadow, but how do you not do eyeshadow with a full face? Like, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my little Bobbi Brown contour and use that as eyeshadow so, my skin isn't so shiny. But these eyelashes, ooh, child, they are workshop. So yeah, I started creating on other platforms and then got on YouTube, started creating on YouTube. I was already monetized on all the other platforms, TikTok and Instagram. Instagram, of course, was my first one. Monetized on there, was making 6 figures on TikTok, on Instagram. And then TikTok came along, elevated the amount of money I was making. And then I was like, oh, I've already kind of figured out and mastered these 2 platforms. Let me get another one. That's one tip I'll give you if you are starting out. Definitely be on all the platforms or at least 3 of them, but figure out, master those before you go pick up another platform. Does that make sense? Like, figure out how to run those, let those be sort of self-sufficient before you go pick up another platform, because you don't want to be a jack of all trades, master of none. You want to make sure you know the platform before you go pick up another one. What's the difference between a content creator and doing a podcast? No idea, because I don't do podcasts. Podcasts Podcasters are creators as well. So all a content creator is somebody that makes content. An influencer is a little bit different. A content creator doesn't have to necessarily be an influencer. Like, They don't have to influence you to buy anything. They don't have to influence you to do anything. You just consume their content. An influencer's job is to get you to do something, whether it's to click a link, whether it's to go eat somewhere, whether it's to go travel, whether it's to try this hotel, whether it's to buy this makeup. An influencer like influences you in one way or another. A podcaster and a content creator can be an influencer, but an influencer, I mean, you people influence in their everyday life. Like you don't have to have social media to be an influencer, but and you can be a content creator and not be an influencer. You can just create content, like the podcasts that do. What are those podcasts where the true crime podcasts? They don't influence you to do anything. They just tell you a good story. You feel good and you leave, or you feel bad and you leave. But an influencer, your job is to really push KPI, what a brand wants or what you want from your audience. So a podcaster is just a content creator. It's just that their medium is a little bit different, right? So a podcaster, the medium, maybe the equipment, maybe a little bit different, but at the end of the day, they are also content creators because they create content for an audience. Um, do we have any other questions? Yeah, so I started creating content. Um, and got on YouTube, was already doing Instagram, TikTok, got on YouTube. And I've been trying to figure out YouTube for the last year because I've been consistent since summer last year. I was like, you know what? Let me get back on YouTube. Actually, no, February. I got back on YouTube February last year. And I was like, Fumi, if you're going to get on this platform, you need to be consistent. So figure out your schedule. I did a bit of research. I watched a bunch of videos on how to create for YouTube, how to be consistent on YouTube, how to edit videos, how to, do good hooks. And I started back February last year with my handbag collection. And that one did really well. And it motivated me to keep doing it. That's a video that helped me get monetized. I started doing my Amazon do piano videos. They were doing well. So it just motivated me to keep doing YouTube, and now we're here. I'm not as consistent as I was when I was trying to get monetized. I will say that. I was posting like 2 times a week for like 6 months, 2 times a week strong for like 6 months. Now I do one a week. Sometimes I'll miss a week, but I'm trying to figure out a new consistency level that's going to work out for me with my kids being so busy. But I feel like in the summer, I will be doing a little bit better. Okay, good. Maybe I'll do another one. Would you guys like a 20 updated handbag um haul or handbag collection video? One thing I haven't done in a while is buy a bag. I haven't bought a bag in a minute, y'all. I really haven't seen anything that I've liked. Um, I haven't seen anything that I've liked. I've gone shopping. My husband's like, "Do you want to buy something? It's Mother's Day. Do you want?" There's nothing. There's nothing out there that's new that I feel like I don't have one iteration or another of it. If I buy something now, it'll just be like another color of the same bag. And I've gotten to the space where I don't want that. I don't want to just have a bunch of bags I don't wear. And I feel like that's the way it's going now. That's the trend now. Have y'all noticed that? A lot of influencers are selling off their bags. I've been watching the videos of the big YouTubers like saying that they're selling their bags or getting rid of it or condensing and going down to like 8 bags. I feel it because you get to a certain point where you're just like, you know, what is the actual point? Why do I need these? On a daily basis, I wear one bag. I wear one bag every day, and it's my Balmain BB Buzz bag. I wear that bag every day. And if it's not that bag, it's my Alma BB in Epi or um, in the monogram. I don't wear the bags. My big Chanels that I've bought, I have never worn those bags outside of the house. So I feel like though I think a lot has to do with age. Also, a lot of the influencers that are getting rid of their stuff, they're like at a certain age. Um, I don't know how old they are, but I know they've been doing it for a while. Which means that they've, they're big aged women, mostly, some of them in their 30s, maybe some in their 40s. Like, it gets to a point where you're like, what is the point of all this? For me to look at thousands of dollars just sitting there when I could really be doing something else with that money. Um, so now I just, if the bag isn't like something that's like, oh my God, I need it. Oh my God, like not need it, but like I absolutely want this bag. It's so different. It's not like anything I have. I will not buy it. And it's so crazy for me to go to New York and not buy a bag is hasn't happened in years. I'm the girl that like just impulse buys. And I went to New York for Fashion Week in February this year. And my husband was like, oh, what are you going to buy? I spent 2 hours walking from shop to shop to shop. Never found anything. First of all, I feel like the brands are becoming a lot lazier. Everything is the same. Nobody's innovative. Nobody's thinking out the box. Nobody is trying to figure out a new silhouette. Nobody is excited about anything, and it shows. They're really just, I think 2020 made us all, but I feel like in 2020, that's when they were coming out with the heavy hitters. That's when every bag that came out in 2020, I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. Oh wow. I don't, they're not, it's not happening. It's just not happening. We are going to um bake for a little while. Bake for a little bit. So yeah, let me get back to content creation. So now I try to be consistent on all platforms. One thing I learned about consistency, and I say this all the time, consistency is not frequency, right? This is the biggest thing that's helped me out in YouTube to like keep perspective. Consistency is not frequency. On YouTube, I'm thinking, when you're trying to get monetized, you're on YouTube creating content all the time. You're doing lives. You're putting out multiple videos a week. You're doing your community posts. You're just trying to get those watch hours up. Once you get monetized, you tend to slow down because that level of frequency is not sustainable. It's just not sustainable unless this is your entire job. Your money depends on it. Like you don't have any other source of income. This is the only way you make money. That's different. Those girlies, I'm not talking to y'all. Like y'all have a mission. Like do your thing, girl. Do your thing. Like make that money. I don't have those sort of constraints. So if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. So then I have to figure out what motivates me to want to do it. And that is creating great content for y'all. But then also, like, it has to be scheduled out for me. So if I can schedule it out and I can be really realistic with myself and say, Fumi, you're not going to show up 3 days out of the week for YouTube. You're not going to show up 2 days out of the week. Like, be real with yourself and then be consistent with what you say. So for me, once a week, I can do that. I can do once a week, no problem. And then I can surprise y'all with 2 videos. And it's like, wow, look at her doing more. But if I put that burden on myself of showing up 2 to 3 times a week, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna stress myself out and be like, oh my God, my man got 2 jobs. I don't need this. Why you yeah, that's my thought process. So I just figure out, and so for you, for YouTube or any of the other platforms, Do what you can do. You can always level up. You can always go from 1 to 2 to 3. What you don't want to do is start at 5 and then go to 1. Your audience is going to be like, girl, what is happening? They won't even know when to come look for you. This is one of the best powders ever. The Sephora powder, 10 out of 10, honey. It will take your pores from 1,000 to 0.0.0. I'm looking real one-dimensional. I'm looking like an egg, and we're about to fix that. I still have to do my hair, y'all, and I got 30 minutes. In 2020, they had to really think to stay afloat. Now, 1,000%. In 2020, you had to really think outside the box as a designer. And then you also had a lot of people starting brands in 2020 because we had all this time on our hands. People started brands. People started, you know, creating their own thing. I remember one of the girls I follow on social media, she started a tie-dye brand. I don't know if she's still doing it. We're gonna bronze. We're gonna bronzino real quick. A lot of people were starting it. So, and then you had a lot of competition. The fashion houses knew they had to come correct because there were new people like Telfar took off during 2020, Brandon Blackwood. So you had people, going back to saying, let's do black owned. So a lot of these fashion houses that have been around a while were like, we got to keep people. We got to keep people coming back. Do you know the biggest demographic for Louis? The people who buy Louis a lot, the most, black women. You know, and black women were going and saying, "Oh, let's do Brandon Blackwood. Let's do Telfar." So they were thinking, baby, they were in their bag. Okay, in 2020. You had Loewe, which, made a huge, like right before COVID hit, Loewe was that girl. I remember the fashion week before COVID, Loewe, those bubble glasses ate it up. The sunglasses, the bags, like Loewe was 2020, 2021, 2022. They came correct, okay? You had what's his name? Daniel Lee at Bottega Veneta. Like the girlies went into the closet and got to work. They're not doing that anymore. The girlies have gone to sleep. Also, there's a lot of upheaval in the luxury market with the musical chairs of directors that's happening now. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but baby, you don't know who's where. People are moving like crazy. They're leaving one fashion house to go to another. They're firing this person and this person. And the biggest surprise to me was Gucci picking up Demna. I don't know what's going on. Gucci was already like on my, list of things. I'm like, Gucci's bag, they're the same. They're not really innovative. And then you go hire Demna. You go hire Demna from Babamba Bamba, from Balenciaga. Please. Are we still here? I feel like the camera went out. Are we still here? Are we still rocking? Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can still see or hear me. We'll keep going. But yeah, I feel like a lot of things. Okay, thumbs up, good. People are calling me, so my phone is like acting up. We are going to do a little bit of setting powder to kind of set everything together. I don't know why I said together like that. But yeah, nope, this isn't working. I need a bigger one. It's a lot different now than it was back in 2020, 2021, even 2022. I feel like they've gone back to like their base, which is status quo, which is we're going to do the least but charge the most. Because one thing they did do was go up on prices. That's what they did do. That's something they did do, was go up on prices. Because 2020, the funny thing is, during COVID, these houses did so well. They doubled their money during really a recession. COVID was a recession, but I feel like it's because people were still making money, but they weren't the money they weren't having to pay for a lot of things. Then you had PPP fraud. Let's just be honest. A lot of people were defrauding the government. But you weren't going out, so you weren't spending your money on our. We did was shop online. Uh, and yeah, things were a lot different back then. But okay, y'all, I'm gonna finish my makeup. I have a shoot and everybody's calling me, so I need to like get that. But I love y'all. We'll do another live really soon, and we'll do another Q&A. But bye.